Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Summer Game Fest 2022 edition of Who the Hell Asked. Byron and Slade here. And, yeah, that was an event that happened yesterday.
Yeah, so honestly, not terribly interesting unless you're a really big fan of either horrors or shooters. But
Yeah, we'll get
without
into that.
further ado, let's get that covered. So Street Fighter V started off with a trailer for Guile making his return to Street Fighter 6.
Yep.
Honestly, I don't find it terribly surprising or shock reveal or anything like at all. It's just Guile's back in Street Fighter.
Yep.
As
Guile is
expected.
here.
As expected.
America. Capcom will be covering more of their games. They have their own showcase actually happening on Monday, which will be covering some of their previous announced games, including more Street Fighter 6 stuff, Resident Evil 4 Remake, and more. So, if you maybe we'll cover it at the end of the week, next week, when we round up everything else, but we'll see about that. But we also got Capcom Arcade Stadium Volume 2, which has some Mega Man stuff, which I didn't know there were some Mega Man arcade games, so I learned of that yesterday. And that will be coming out on July 22nd. But yeah.
All right. Moving right along here. We got some Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle Shredder's Revenge news.
Oh, yes.
Couple things. Byron had this correct. I think he predicted it previously. Casey Jones is a playable character, which is honestly pretty cool.
Yep. Yeah, I figured, if they were gonna add a playable character, the only one left of the main TMNT crew was Casey Jones.
Yeah. But I think the bombshell announcement wasn't Casey Jones. Rather, it was the fact that they gave him a six player.
6-player, local, and online multiplayer. That is insane. Look at it. Look at it on screen. It's so insane.
That is pretty nuts. I hope everybody plays the non-Switch versions when they play this game.
Oh God.
Otherwise, it's someone's gonna be garbage.
Oh God,
But,
yeah. But man, yeah. Unexpected, out of nowhere, 6-player. Insane. And the fact it's local and online is also even more crazy.
Oh yeah, 6 people online. That's gonna be really fascinating.
That is, and you wanna know something else that was crazy, Slade?
I'm listening.
Goat Simulator 3.
Oh yeah, I was watching that trailer, and I thought we were getting an extremely nerfed version of Dead Rising 2, and I'm like, this is Dead Rising 2. What the hell is this? Are they making it for Switch or something? And then the goat showed up. I was like,
Yeah, so at first, I thought it was gonna be oh, we're getting The Sims 5? And then, Slade said, the goats show up. But also, the fuck? There was a Goat Simulator 2? That was my first thought after seeing, oh yeah, Goat Sim 3. And and I actually looked it up. There was no Goat Simulator 2. Never has been. Never will be a Goat Simulator 2. Which is bizarre to call it Goat Simulator 3, but hey, it's Goat Simulator. It's gonna be some wacky fun. Definitely the most shocking new game announcement of the event.
yeah, probably. It definitely came out of left field, especially with the Dead Rising 2 reference trailer thing right at the start.
Yeah.
Definitely not something I would expect for sure. It was definitely out of left field, but also pretty cool at the same time that they did that.
Yeah. All right, let's talk about it, Slade. And I'm going to use Aliens Dark Descent to basically leap onto this topic. So, there was an Aliens game revealed at Summer Game Fest, and it was a kind of Dead Rising, or no, Dead Space style, space horror shooter
Yeah, that's correct.
There were way too many of them in like the span of like 30 minutes.
Oh yeah, it definitely felt like for the period of like 30 to 45 minutes, they dropped like fucking 7 different horror shooters. Because Aliens Dark Descent coming out, the Callisto Protocol, which was already previously announced at the State of Play,
Yep.
was also there. Modern Warfare 2, not a horror game, but also a shooter, was there. It just felt like there's a long period of time where all we got to see were really just shooters.
Yeah.
That being said, that doesn't mean all the shooters were not interesting in
No.
any way. For example, not really sure, but more of a GTA like Saints Row Boss Factory was shown up, which it's an app game, and
Oh yeah.
then the full game, I guess, is released in August or something. I thought that was pretty interesting.
Yeah, like a
Um,
character creator demo. I'm like, that's a first. I'll say that much. That's a first.
so we had 2 superhero games announced. Marvel's Midnight Suns trailer, which I guess the big reveal was Spider-Man's going to be in that game.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, we did get Marvel Midnight Suns, which we last heard about that. God, was it last Summer Game Fest?
Oh yeah, and it's an XCOM style game.
Yeah, that
And
will be coming
then-
out October 7th. So relatively sooner than I thought. I thought this was going to be a 2023 game, easily.
So it looks like the development of that's coming along pretty swimmingly. And from across the aisle to DC, we have Gotham Knights.
Yeah, which
I think it's just called Gotham Knights.
Yeah,
because I think
Gotham
Batman's
Knights.
like dead, and they got all the Robin
Oh, yeah.
series.
Batman
like
is
Nightwing,
dead.
The Red Hood, the current Robin. Like they got all of them in there. So
Yeah.
that's gonna be pretty interesting. Once,
So
that
we
comes
got
out.
another look at an interesting game, Metal Hellsinger, the metal rhythm shooter.
Yeah, rhythm shooter. That one of those shooters I was talking about that could actually potentially be really interesting.
And plus the soundtrack, at least in my opinion, absolutely banging. But I'm also very much into metal, so so yeah, that looks real. And there's a demo out, at least on PC if you want to give it a try. Cuphead. Let's talk about that. We got a teeny look at Cuphead, the delicious last course, which I just now realized looking at it, I get why it's called delicious last course. That just hit me now, Slade. It's called the delicious last course because it's DLC.
Yeah.
That has flown over my head for like years.
That's crazy. I actually just now realized that too, just because you said something.
But yeah, it still looks good. They had Jeff Keighley had one of the studio heads there at MDHR saying this is basically like a full game, which is insane. Because that
Oh yeah, they're putting a lot of effort into this game. The fact that not releasing it as its own standalone game at this point is like incredible.
it's kind of wild. You would have thought that would have happened, but who knows? Who knows? Should we talk about the elephant in the room before we continue further?
Which one? There's multiple.
The big red elephant in the room.
Are we talking about a big reveal?
The
or-
Nintendo elephant in the room.
I mean, okay, that element. See, I was like, do we talk about the biggest reveal or do we talk about the lack of what's there? Because let's talk about the Strikers trailer that's only been playing since last Sunday.
Yeah,
Pretty much
so
everywhere.
Nintendo brought a trailer of games, and then they brought a Strikers Battle League trailer, which I haven't seen the recent Strikers Battle League trailer. So when I first saw it, I genuinely thought, "Oh shit, Mario and Rabbids? Is that actually here?"
Oh lord.
Nah, But then I saw the soccer ball and I'm like, it's fucking Strikers. Nothing against it. It's great, but it's Strikers. We've seen it already.
Yeah, this trailer's been playing all week.
Yeah. But yeah, that was it from Nintendo. That was it from Nintendo. We still don't know if they're gonna have a Nintendo Direct this month or not.
To be fair, Nintendo's not listed as a partner for the Summer Games Fest.
Yeah, so I guess it was a surprise to even see them there at all. Except, some games would have the Switch logo for when they're coming out, like Neon White. That was a big one. It was like this platformer roguelite where you use cards to like shoot guns and stuff. That was a bit interesting.
Yeah.
But yeah, let's get back to the big red elephant.
Yeah, so let me talk about the elephant in the room. So the biggest reveal of it, which to a lot of people is surprising because Sony actually leaked it themselves.
They did. They did.
First and foremost, The Last of Us multiplayer game, the one that's exclusively multiplayer, is going to have its own story, and it's going to be, quote-unquote, as big as other Naughty Dog games.
Yeah.
Pretty fantastic. It's got a lot of concept art. It's already out there.
Well, we got the one at the show.
Yeah, so they are remaking / remastering The Last of Us Part 1 for the second time.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess we'll just go straight to the other elephant in the room.
Yeah,
Last of Us Part 1. Yeah.
PS5 and PC, it's the second time it's been remade. Honestly, I think this does warrant a remake. It definitely looks way better than the HD remaster on PS4. But the fact that it's coming to PC is just what has me excited, because it's just, the latest Sony title getting ported over to the PC.
Well, it's not going to be their day and date with PC, of course.
No, it's going to take a while for it to get on PC. But it comes out September on PS5, and then fucking God knows
September 2nd, 2022 for the PS5, and it's also in development for PC, so it could be like another year, could be another year and a half, could be another 6 months, who knows? Who knows how long it'll take, but this is... I'm going to make a weird comparison. This is the Mario and Luigi Bowser's Inside Story plus Bowser Jr. Minions of Sony. A mostly unnecessary remake. Now, what this has over the Mario and Luigi remake I mentioned is that it is coming to PC.
So yeah, I'm about to say, the PC port alone kind of disproves that argument just a little bit.
Yeah.
But I don't know, because the thing is about the difference between the quality of the remaster and the remake is like really stark. So
true.
I didn't feel that way about Bowser's Inside Story when it got remade for PS. Plus, you also got to mention that had like the playability of the platform that it's currently on. I don't think that's necessarily the same argument, considering I don't know.
You can play The Last of Us like PS4 remake on PS5, so
yeah. I mean, they're saying it's remade from the ground up because it's not just the graphics that remade, though that was the thing they really touched up on.
Yeah.
They also said that the enemy AI has been based off The Last of Us Part 2, new combat options, and then the game will run at 60 FPS.
Yeah, and other quality of life changes.
Yeah. So all in all, it's supposed to be a more improved, better experience across the board.
Yeah. But yeah, that other than a few other announcements, like another horror game, Layers of Fear from Bluebird Team, that's coming out early 2023. And yeah, and One Piece getting a deeper look, the One Piece RPG that will be coming surprisingly in 2022. Did not expect that.
Yeah, it looks like Bandai Namco is pushing for that game to come out, so
that's true. I just thought it would be like the trend, like a lot of other games this year, which that's something honestly, we could just get straight into that. Like, a lot of games are coming in 2023.
Yeah, that's the one thing I took away. Is just 2023 is where everything's being, pushed out to people.
Yeah, so there were quite a few issues with the show itself, not the games presented at the show. In some cases, because fucking Call of Duty getting 10 minutes on this show when it should have gotten
Yeah.
0 minutes on this fucking show. We don't need
The shooter and horror saturation was very real.
Yeah, like
least.
Call of Duty getting a full raw 7-minute like level gameplay. I'm like, I don't want to see something you could look up on YouTube like fucking 4 months from now.
Yeah, it also kind of hurts when a lot of the stuff was previously like announced stuff, and then for companies like MiHoYo, or I guess it's Toyoverse now,
Oh yeah,
showing off their other projects that aren't Genshin Impact that nobody's interested in seeing.
Oh yeah, we forgot to mention that. Yeah. There's what? I think 3 Hoyoverse games that got announced at this.
Yeah.
That's not the problem. The problem, and I think the problem existed with the like 30-minute Dead Space like shooter space section. You need to spread that shit out.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you could have followed, like, you don't need to clump one genre in at the same time. Like, that, I think that is Keighley's biggest issue, not only with Summer Game Fest, but also with the Game Awards to an extent. It's less prevalent there, but pacing still isn't exactly great on Keighley's shows. Now, of course, he's got to get in his ads, and we saw a cringy The Rock ad, which played a trailer for Black Adam, which isn't a game. And the developer interviews that took way too long, including the Last of Us section, which took 15 minutes.
Oh, you know what game we did talk about? That survival game called Nightingale.
Oh,
that game looked really interesting. I actually kind of want to give that a shot. But I wonder if it's multiplayer. Yeah. Probably not, but if it's multiplayer, I'm definitely willing to give it a shot.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, like pacing at these shows for Keighley, man.
I think it would help a lot of these games like Call of Duty and some of these horror shooters and whatnot. If they had like 3-minute long trailers and then a promise afterwards to hold their own fucking event or like live stream
that, or just spread them out throughout the show.
Yeah,
honestly, because like obviously Keighley doesn't have a say in the game selection. He's getting the box of scraps from everybody else,
and at that point, all he has to do is just order it in whatever way he pleases, kind of put it together.
Yeah, and that's where
I kind of agree.
And that's where he could obviously very much improve on. We didn't need like 10 minutes of just entirely Hoyoverse games. We didn't need like 25, 30 minutes of Dead Space space shooter likes in a row.
Yeah, and I said, again, and a lot of these were already previously announced too, which is another thing
that's not necessarily like a bad thing if there wasn't much info given on them beforehand.
Yeah.
Which in some of these cases really that was the case.
Because like we got a lot of previously announced stuff. Then you have a trailer for a character in Guile who everybody knew was going to be in Street Fighter 5 or 6 anyway.
Yeah.
That it's like there wasn't a whole lot of like news. And if the biggest announcement was a game being remade for the second time in 5 years.
Yeah, well, which got leaked by hilariously enough Sony themselves.
Then at that point, the show just kind of felt like a no news like event for the most part.
Yeah, well, honestly, you could sum up 2022 seemingly like that for the most part.
Well, because everything's getting delayed to high hell.
Yeah.
Problem is, 2022's best game has already been out for like 5 months now because Elden Ring. And fucking, I have not seen a competitor step up to the plate, try to take it down yet.
Yeah, like
Honestly, it's probably going to stay that way.
Uh, but yeah,
And
like,
it is still
and
late till next year.
yeah, and like I get Keeley needs the advertising on his show because he doesn't have the ability to be able to run it without ads the Microsoft presentation or Sony or Nintendo or etc. So like
Yeah.
that's always going to be unfortunately a necessary evil, but I think honestly the show could be cut by like maybe half the time max or even cut
Yeah,
it by like
probably.
30 minutes, make it a more tighter packed show. Cut some of the dev interviews, cut some of the advertising, not all of it, of course, because he does need to have advertising, but it was okay, but like, I guess maybe in a way indicative of 2022 in gaming,
Yeah.
I guess. What?
Okay, back to some of the news. Earlier today, it got announced that Final Fantasy VII on June 16th is going to have a celebration podcast. Um, I'm thinking that this is going to be where they announce part two.
Oh yeah, because you thought they were gonna do it at Summer Game Fest.
Well, I figured Square Enix isn't holding their own event. They're partnered with the event, which did we even see any Square Enix reveals?
Oh god.
I don't think I saw one.
Uh, God, you might be right. I don't remember seeing anything from Square.
Yeah. But that being said, I believe we're going to see the part two remake announced at this collection broadcast, like this anniversary
Yep.
event.
And there was actually one last big piece of news from Summer Game Fest themselves, which was they're going to have a digital and in-person event in 2023. And we also heard, I believe, earlier in the day or yesterday or like a few days ago that E3 is planning digital and in-person. Thoughts,
Yeah,
Slade?
so looks like they're going to be going directly at each other. It's going to be a really competitive thing. We're going to see, a lot of companies kind of choose whether or not they're kind of just done with E3 in general or not. Because even though I feel like Summer Games Fest hasn't quite lived up to that E3 branding in terms of how the show runs, the quality of like the presentation and stuff like that, I do think that they've provided us an alternative that might allow these companies to look past, getting their employees like addresses and shit leaked and fucking, a bunch of the other bad stuff that apparently always happens behind the
I
scenes
still
at
can't
a
believe that happened. The great game journalist doxing of 2019. I still can't
Yeah.
believe that happened. But I feel like both of them competing dilutes both of them, honestly. And I know some people have been hoping like, oh, is E3 coming back? Gamer Christmas is back. I think honestly, June being the quote unquote gamer Christmas is dead at this point. I think it's a hard reality check that yeah, it's with all of these companies doing their own presentations, even indie developers are doing their own presentations.
Oh
These
yeah.
digital Nintendo Direct style presentations. I think the age of just a few days in like early to mid June being gamer Christmas, I think that's dead. And I think we all
I'm
just need to accept
not
that at
willing
this
to go
point.
to that extreme. I just think that it's not dead so much as being stretched out over the span of the entire month of June.
No, I'm just talking in general because we're getting news not just throughout the month of June, we're getting news throughout the year
Well, yeah,
for
but I
all of these
mean,
companies.
they've still been consolidated throughout 2 or 3 weeks of June. So, like, I don't know. I think that's a bit of a not an over exaggeration. Is what I'm looking for. I think that's like I said, a bit of a stretch. I just don't agree that the idea of a game announcement when it's. You understand, Byron? These also come right after these companies announce all of their quarterly results. So it behooves these companies to make announcements in this time frame for, their future. Not just for us as gamers to get all excited and hyped over, but also for their investors and stuff like that as well. So
I guess, but they don't.
You got to remember, E3 originally started as an investor event.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. But that's just my thought on it, considering everything. And that was our thoughts and discussion of some of the stuff that happened at Summer Game Fest. But yeah, we'll see you all on Monday afternoon for the Microsoft presentation, and then probably that Saturday, just catching up on the rest of the stuff that we missed throughout the week that we don't cover. Like, if anything happens at the Capcom event, if anything happens at that Final Fantasy event, any other cool stuff.
We'll also talk about stuff that didn't happen. Like, for example, God of War Ragnarok was nowhere to be seen.
Yeah.
Kind of suspicious. Probably delayed, like everything else is.
Yeah, but yeah, that has been Who the Hell Asked Summer Game Fest 2022. This has been Byron.
It's been Slade.
And we will see you all on Monday for the Microsoft Bethesda Games Showcase. Bye-bye.